it chapter by chapter, one bite at a time. So many adventures and mountains we can climb. Take it word for word, line by line, one bite at a time.
Welcome to Bite at a Time Books, where we read you your favorite classics one bite at a time. My name is Bree Carlile, and I love to read, and wanted to share my passion with listeners like you. If you want to know what's coming next and vote on upcoming books, sign up for our newsletter at biteatatimebooks.com. You'll also find our new t-shirts in the shop, including podcast shirts and quote shirts from your favorite classic novels. Be sure to follow my show on your favorite podcast platform so you get all the new episodes. You can find most of our links in the show notes, but also our website, biteatatimebooks.com, includes all of the links for our show, including to our Patreon to support the show, and YouTube, where we have special behind the narration of the episodes. We're part of the Bite at a Time Books Productions Network. If you'd also like to hear what inspired your favorite classic authors to write their novels, and what was going on in the world at the time, check out the Bite at a Time Books Behind the Story podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Please note, while we try to keep the text as close to the original as possible, some words have been changed to honor the marginalized communities who've identified the words as harmful, and to stay in alignment with Bite at a Time Books' brand values. Today we'll be continuing Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. Volume 2, Cosette. Book 1st, Waterloo. Chapter 1, What is met with on the way from Nivelles. Last year, 1861, on a beautiful May morning, a traveler, the person who is telling this story, was coming from Nivelles and directing his course towards La Hulpe. He was on foot. He was pursuing a broad paved road which undulated between two rows of trees, over the hills which succeeded each other, raised the road and let it fall again, and produced something in the nature of enormous waves. He had passed Lilloy and Bois Seigneur Isaac. In the west he perceived the slate-roofed tower of Braine Alliod, which has the form of a reversed vase. He had just left behind a wood upon an eminence, and at the angle of the crossroad, by the side of a sort of mouldy gibbet bearing the inscription, Ancient Barrier No. 4, a public house, bearing on its front this sign, At the Four Winds, Echebeau Private Café. A quarter of a league further on, he arrived at the bottom of a little valley, where there is water which passes beneath an arch made through the embankment of the road. The clump of sparsely planted but very green trees, which fills the valley on one side of the road, is dispersed over the meadows on the other, and disappears gracefully as in order in the direction of Braine Alliod. On the right, close to the road, was an inn with a four-wheeled cart at the door, a large bundle of hop poles, a plough, a heap of dried brushwood near a flourishing hedge, lime smoking in a square hole, and a ladder suspended along an old penthouse with straw partitions. A young girl was weeding in a field, where a huge yellow poster, probably of some outside spectacle, such as a parish festival, was fluttering in the wind. At one corner of the inn, beside a pool in which a flotilla of ducks was navigating, a badly paved path plunged into the bushes. The wayfarer struck into this. After traversing 100 paces, skirting a wall of the 15th century, surmounted by a pointed gable with bricks set in contrast, he found himself before a large door of arched stone, with a rectilinear impost, in the somber style of Louis XIV, flanked by two flat medallions. A severe facade rose above this door. A wall, perpendicular to the facade, almost touched the door, and flanked it with an abrupt right angle. In the meadow before the door lay 3 harrows, through which, in disorder, grew all the flowers of May. The door was closed. The 2 decrepit leaves which barred it were ornamented with an old rusty knocker. The sun was charming. The branches had that soft shivering of May, which seems to proceed rather from the nests than from the wind. A brave little bird, probably a lover, was caroling in a distracted manner in a large tree. The wayfarer bent over and examined a rather large circular excavation, resembling the hollow of a sphere, in the stone on the left, at the foot of the pier of the door. At this moment, the leaves of the door parted and a peasant woman emerged. She saw the wayfarer and perceived what he was looking at. "It was a French cannonball which made that," she said to him, and she added, "That which you see there, higher up in the door near a nail, is the hole of a big iron bullet as large as an egg. The bullet did not pierce the wood." "What is the name of this place?" inquired the wayfarer. "Huguemont," said the peasant woman. The traveler straightened himself up. He walked on a few paces and went off to look over the tops of the hedges. On the horizon, through the trees, he perceived a sort of little elevation, and on this elevation something which at that distance resembled a lion. He was on the battlefield of Waterloo. Thank you for joining Bite at a Time Books today, while we read a bite of one of your favorite classics. Again, my name is Bree Carlile, and I hope you come back tomorrow for the next bite of Les Miserables. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter at biteatatimebooks.com and check out the shop. You can check out the show notes or our website, biteatatimebooks.com, for the rest of the links for our show. We'd love to hear from you on social media as well.